Many items from Pokemon are coming to Loomian Legacy, some being metagame defining, and some being, well, I am here to predict how viable these items will be and their potential uses in the Loomian Legacy metagame. If I miss any items that you think could be interesting, comment down below and I'll reply. And now, let's begin with a really good one first. Heavy duty boots' only purpose is ignoring entry hazards. In singles, this item defined the entire metagame. Pokemon that either spam pivoting moves or were weak to entry hazards such very obvious stealth rocks would often use heavy duty boots. However, Loomian Legacy's only real entry hazard is barbs. Icicle traps are very easy to remove and poison barbs are devastating, but they're inconsistent because you can just send in a toxic type and it'll remove it. Because of this, heavy duty boots placed in the metagame will likely be relegated to the prominent entry hazard removers. Not Stratosaur, because it is immune to all but icicle traps. But Loomians like Crackaloa and Phage Knot can use the item in the same way they use Mysterious Dust to do the same thing, to avoid being affected by poison barbs, so they can do their job as efficiently as possible by being immune to poison barbs. Wait, now they can not only have a guaranteed immunity to both poison barbs, they can also become completely invulnerable to all other forms of entry hazards. Other Loomians could use it too, such as pivot spammers like Luminami or Zulong though. Maybe. The Assault Vest is one of my favorite items. It increases your special defense by an entire 50%! The same as the Heavy Shield, which uses a lot of your energy. But you can only use attacking moves. In Pokemon, this was commonly used by Pokemon that can only ever attack, or could afford to do so, and are naturally bulky enough to get massive benefits from the Assault Vest, giving them defensive utility. Hariyama's future relative, Conkeldurr, Azumarill, even Mantine and Lanturn can use it. Exact same logic applies to Loomian Legacy. Loomians like Luminami, which truly only use attacking moves, Phage Knot and Terraclaw would adore the Assault Vest. That's right, Terraclaw would be a great user of the Assault Vest, meaning yes, you are using melee attacks or passive damage to kill it. Phage Knot even shares the same range defense stat as Iron Hands, giving me enormous PTSD. Loomians that can run it if they feel so could be Sharonix dropping Magnify, Frostbite, and Flash and Flee as well. Something like Zulong, however, would not really use the Assault Vest much because it really needs a boosting item offensively to be dangerous. And it isn't super bulky to begin with, so choice specs? The only Loomian that prefers Heavy Shield despite being capable of using only attacking moves is Harva, since the Heavy Shield is basically a free Assault Vest due to not having an energy stat. In short, Assault Vest will be amazing. The Choice Band and Choice Specs are iconic items that basically function the same as specialty boots, but for melee and range attack respectively. In Pokemon, it is most commonly used with Pokemon that tend to spam one attacking move usually, or pivot a lot, or can maximize the potential of these items, such as Scizor or Fluttermane. My prediction is that these items would compete with Power Cups due to giving the same boost, and it comes down to the Loomian's preference. Zulong has many struggles regarding maintaining its energy against longevity focused teams, so Choice Specs would be a great item, especially considering Zulong already runs specialty boots occasionally, despite already being very fast. Ursul would not use Choice Band though, as its moves across the board cost little energy, and Pep Jam can even heal its energy if it wants to. And it doesn't just spam one move usually, so no Choice Band for Ursul, but Choice Specs for Zulong, so it's a maybe. The Life Orb is interesting. Takes away 10% of your health and increases your damage output by 30%, a significant amount. It's used on Pokemon with many coverage moves, or Pokemon that cannot afford to lock into one move, yet really need as much power as possible, as well as not needing to maintain their health, such as Starmie or Great Tusk. Zulong, Garlash, and Deladrix to me sound like strong candidates for the Life Orb. Their health is not at a premium, they have many coverage moves, and sometimes they just spam. They can spam one move, but not usually. Meaning it comes down to team choices and player preference. I expect Life Orb to be relatively commonplace, but not really an amazing item. Can be vicious on the right Loomian though. Maybe. The Lumberry is a berry that removes any status conditions your Pokemon has and is single use per battle, similar to the Milkshake. In Pokemon, it is usually most used on sweepers that will be ruined by status, such as the Dragonite. In Loomian Legacy, this likely won't be too common. Status afflictions are strangely rare in Loomian Legacy, barring Hypnotize, which is a BS move and is not very competitive. If you use Hypnotize, it means you're admitting that you need luck to win. Done. Haze and Raging Flame are rare moves, so the Lumberry doesn't come up very often. I can see Loomians like Nevermare using it, as Nevermare fits the bill of a sweeper that despises status, but I don't see much else used for the Lumberry. The Rocky Helmet is basically Sharp Edges turned into an item, and it's pretty good. Passive damage can be key sometimes, and something like Bar Blast can take enormous advantage out of the Rocky Helmet due to its bulk and its longevity. It isn't just Bar Blast, of course. I can see many Loomians using the Rocky Helmet, such as Obsidragon. Maybe. Anyways, that's it for items I expect to be strong, so on to nicher territory. The Expert Belt is a solid item that provides a 20% boost to super effective moves, the same as an Essence. This is of course used by Pokemon with enormous coverage move pools that hit many types super effectively, such as a mixed Tyranitar. However, because the boost isn't as significant as a Life Orb or Choice Specs, even something like Dragapult with much coverage would rather use a stronger item like a Life Orb or a Choice Specs due to its lower special attack. In Loomian Legacy, because move pools are so limited, I don't think the Expert Belt will be common at all. Zulong has a lot of coverage, but it really needs a stronger boosting item like a Life Orb or Choice Specs. I don't expect much from the Expert Belt at all. Unless it's melee Zulong. The Covert Cloak is a very unique item. It makes your Pokemon immune to the secondary effects of a move used against it. For example, it stops Fire Breath from burning you, but not Raging Flame, as burning is the main effect of Raging Flame. Most commonly, this is used by stall breakers like Goldengo, or the setters of something like a Tailwind from Tornadoes. In Loomian Legacy, there is not a prominent move similar to Fake Out or Salt Cure that requires us to not be hampered by the secondary effects, sadly. Blood Drain exists, but how many times have you seen that move in the Battle Coliseum? Muslin exists, but that is just straight up one of the rarest Loomians in the entire Coliseum. It doesn't block pivot moves or raising stats, such as Carolyn's Inductive Assault, because that's not effective use, so please add Salt Cure to the game. The Clear Amulet blocks the opponent from lowering the holder's stats. You can still drop your own stats by Rogue Assaulting, but something like Adorable or Terrifying would not work. In Pokemon, it's most commonly in doubles where Intimidate is everywhere, and Pokemon like Lander Asterion can use it to not be hampered by Intimidate from enemy Lander Asterion. What a world we live in. However, doubles in Loomian Legacy sucks because of Lampurge, and while Terrifying is still prominent in singles due to Tyrex, rarely do I actually feel the effects of a -1 attack stat. And also, that's just one Loomian. As much as I want Clear Amulet to succeed, I don't think it will be. Could be fun on gimmick teams, but eh. The Toxic Orb badly poisons yourself. Simple enough. It is, of course, used by Poison Heal Pokemon, Breloom and Gliscor, but I actually think it can be used in Loomian Legacy despite us not having a Poison Heal Pokemon, Loomian. Firstly, Barter Venolin. Instead of ruining an offensive Loomian with heavy shackles, you ruin a defensive and potentially an offensive one by permanently putting a timer on them, unless they have a Lumberry, and a relatively fast-ticking one at that. Snagim can pull similar tricks. Even Gargoyle Defense could use it on gimmicky sets to bait a barter onto it, only for the barterer to get badly poisoned by the Toxic Orb they just bartered. Your Garg is fine because of Immunize too, of course. Pretty excited for the Toxic Orb to come because Loomian Legacy, I feel like there's a lot of potential for funny sets with it. Okay, this is a good one. The Eject button and the Eject pack. They force your Pokemon out when they are activated. With the Eject button, it is activated when the Loomian gets hit. And with the Eject pack, it is activated as soon as your stats are lowered. And they are single use per battle. Just like the Lumberry and Milkshake. I am very excited for the Eject button, as it could make for some hilarious pivoting. If I want to bring my Deladrix into Tyrex, but it's in Earthquake range, I can simply swap to my Eject button pivot and bam! Eject button forces my pivot out and Deladrix comes in safely. As a horror for pivoting, I want this. The Eject pack is a little weirder. I can see it being used to bait a Terrifying from Tyrex, causing the Eject pack to swap your guy out and bring in a dangerous threat that can bully Tyrex, but otherwise not much. Pokemon like Torkoal use it for Overheat, lower their stats, and swap it to the Sun Abuser to abuse the Torkoal set Drought. Loomian Legacy doesn't have anything like this, so I don't expect much from the Eject pack. The Loaded Dice is a fun item that guarantees moves to hit 4 to 5 times, always when they are multi-hit moves, such as Pine Shot and Boulder Blast. Excalibur was so good at using this with Stab, Icicle Spear, and Scale Shot that it got banned from singles, and in doubles, it's still there. In Loomian Legacy, I think only one Loomian would be able to use this item to its full potential. Boneki. Boneki is a relatively weak Loomian, but with Loaded Dice, it can use far stronger stab moves with Pine Shot and Boulder Blast, always hitting for either 100 or 125 base power. This is unquestionably better than an Essence or a Shell, leaving only the Clutch Plushie as an alternative. Or a Life Orb, I guess, I don't know, your choice. No. That's all of my item predictions for Loomian Legacy. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know which item you want to come to Loomian Legacy, and how you would use it. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you want to see me do in the future, and have a great day, everybody.